Configure some performance counters, talk about why those are important, work with the event viewer, and we're going to install and configure the Windows Server Update services. Alright, so let's just go ahead and open up Server Manager and click on Diagnostics, expand that, go down to Reliability and Performance Monitor, and under Monitoring Tools we have Performance Monitor and Reliability Monitor. Let's click on Performance Monitor, and let's click the green plus sign. Here are the different subsystems that we can add performance counters to. Now, since we are hypothetically running an SQL server, the things we want to be concerned about are network availability, the security, and the integrity. So as far as availability, let's check on processor speeds and read-write speeds for the disks. Those are the things we're going to be concerned about. Under processor, click %idle time. You can select show description if you'd like to see a short description about one of these counters. Click add and then click OK. We now have a counter right here. You can select it and it'll show it right now. You can see the different statistics about when the processor is idle, and you'll notice that if I move my mouse around a lot and create some activity for the machine to follow, the average idle time will go down and you'll see more drops in the monitor here. Alright, another counter that we can add is to go under physical disk, and there are several things we can choose from right here. We can do the disk read time, we can do the disk write time, and select OK. And as you can see, we've got there's not a lot of activity as far as writing right now. In Reliability and Performance Monitor is create data collector sets. And these make it easier to see groups of data that are interrelated and relate to a specific task or function that we want to monitor. So under user defined, we can right click, go to new, create a data set. We'll just do SQL data set, and we'll create it from a template just to make it simple. And let's do system performance, because that's really one of the things we're looking for when we're talking about an SQL server. Click next, and select open properties for this data collector set, because we want to go to schedule and create a schedule. We won't set an expiration date. Alright, so start time, let's do 1 p.m. Select OK, click apply, and click OK. Now we have a data set. We can right click on that and select start, and the data set will begin to run. So we can go down to reports under user defined, and there is our SQL data set, and we can select it, and it will take 60 seconds to capture some data and presents you with the results. You can observe lots of information about the system, such as the memory utilization, the processor utilization, and it's all broken down into a summary and then specific categories. And one of the important things is the disk. So we can look down here to physical disk and see how our performance is as far as the physical disk. We have our idle times, our second counters. There's a great deal of information here that we can use to help us optimize our system. Alright, next what we can do under Diagnostics is go down to the event viewer and select Windows Logs. We can also create custom views. We don't currently have any. We can also go down to custom views. We don't currently have any that we've created. But under Windows Logs, you've got application, which deals with events on an application level. We've got security, which you're going to see a lot of audit attempts in here. And if you scroll down somewhere, there should be some failed audit attempts. Basically failed logon attempts. And there are a few right here. And so if you had several of these audit failures in a row, there's probably an issue going on. There's probably somebody trying to break into one of the computers. They may not get far, but at least you can see which workstation it's happening on, the target username, and the domain that they were trying to log on to. You could also see the failure reason, usually because the password was incorrect. You can go down to Setup. We've got System, which deals with all these system activities. We've got forwarding events. Forwarded events are if you have a server set up specifically to record the system events of multiple machines. You can have them all pooled to the same area so that you only have to check one machine in order to gather particular events. And those function based on subscriptions. We don't have that set up right now. We may set it up in the next lab.